Hello everyone, this video goes through the story of Beyond Two Souls. In the middle of night, little Jodie attempts to sleep, only to wake up screaming for her mother after lights flicker and objects move in her room. The next day, when Jodie is playing outside in the snow, a boy rubs snow on Jodie's face, preventing her from breathing. But a mysterious force chokes the little boy, nearly killing him and making him think Jodie is a witch. Jodie's father drags her into their room, quarreling with her mother, Susan, which reveals that they are Jodie's foster parents. Susan takes her to a man named Nathan Dawkins, who describes himself as a person who studies strange events. He asks Jodie about this mysterious force, which Jodie calls Aiden, and Jodie implies that he has been with her since he was born. Then she shows Nathan the supernatural interaction between Aiden and objects in the room. After this, Jodie's foster parents move her into the Department of Paranormal Activities, leaving her to live with Nathan and his assistant, Cole Freeman. Afterwards, the two men routinely take Jodie in experiments to check her ability. Watching her from an adjoining room, Nathan and Cole witness that Aiden is able to recognize distant objects in a separate room and powerfully interacts with them, which even scares the other workers in the room. When they are not at work, Jodie watches cartoons in the lab. One night, she feels tired and asks Nathan if they could go yet. Nathan agrees and asks Jodie to get a book in the other room. Book in hand, Jodie makes her way back, but is startled by a sudden apparition of a blood-soaked girl. Behind her is another woman, also covered in blood. They disappear as quickly as they materialize, leaving Jodie afraid and confused. She hands the book to Nathan, then again distracted by the two women appearing behind Nathan's shoulder. Nathan is interrupted by a phone call which makes him distraught. His wife and daughter were killed in a car accident. Cole ushers Jodie out of the room, leaving Nathan to cry alone. In bed, Jodie is awakened by the specter of Nathan's daughter, who beckons Jodie to follow her to Nathan's office. In trying to comfort crying Nathan, Jodie discovers that she can channel spirits of dead through a psychic link, caused by physical contact with the living. She does so, channeling both his wife and daughter to console Nathan. Nathan pleads with Jodie to bring them back once, but she is unable to. Sometime later, Jodie, as a 14 years old, is dropped off at a birthday party for the daughter of a worker in the lab. At the party, the kids ask Jodie questions and scoff at her. Jodie's ability frightens kids, and they lock her in a cupboard underneath the staircase. With Aiden's help, Jodie escapes. After that, she is no longer allowed to leave the DPA lab. Though at her 16, Jodie managed to use Aiden's help to sneak outside once. She is offended by some man in a bar. Aiden tries to save Jodie, which results in a terrible homicide. The scientist builds a condenser which opens a portal to the infraworld, but it goes wrong and leaves an accident which allows the soul to invade the real world from the other side. Jodie is asked to help to destroy the portal. Inside the building, she sees blood spattering on the floor and walls, and the corpses of scientists and soldiers lying on the floor who has been killed by visible entities. Jodie saves the frightened scientist, who later gets possessed by one of the entities and starts to attack Jodie. Jodie subdues him and enters the inner room. There, the dead bodies rise up and try to kill her. While Jodie is trying to open a locked door to the control room, Aiden helps to kill the zombies before they get too close to Jodie. Jodie makes her way to the console in the control room, while Aiden is fending off the entities trying to kill her. Eventually, Jodie activates the switch at the very top, causing the portal to bring all the entity back into the rift and destroying the condenser that was keeping the rift open. After the accident, Jodie is formally introduced to Ryan Clayton, a CIA agent, who informs her that she will be transferred to a training program in the Paranormal Activity Department of the agency and serve CIA afterwards. Having become a CIA agent herself, Jodie is assigned a mission in an embassy with Ryan. She slips into the ladies' restroom and locks herself in one of the cubicles, and uses Aiden's help to get the documents from the safe in the main office. As Aiden finds the documents, Jodie jots down notes which are collected by a female waitress. Then she barely makes it back to Ryan, leaving in a hurry. With the confidential information in hand, they are sent on a mission to assassinate Jamal, an asserted dangerous warlord. During the mission, Jodie finds an injured boy named Salim and heals him with Aiden. Salim helps her through the journey and finally finds Jamal. After using Aiden to kill Jamal and all of his security, Jodie breaks in to take a photographic proof. Salim comes back and cries for his dead father, one of the securities. Jodie then runs out. An angry mob corner and try to kill her. 3 helicopters come out, and Ryan comes to her rescue. On a helicopter ride back to the CIA headquarters in America, Jodie finds out that Jamal wasn't actually a warlord, but the democratically elected president. She argues to Ryan that she was being manipulated to kill an innocent before jumping out of the helicopter. A SWAT team is sent to arrest Jodie. She is handcuffed and placed in a van, but Aiden helps her to escape, making great casualties to the SWAT team. Running from the CIA pursuit, Jodie collapses near an alley. A homeless man, Stan, carries her to his home underneath a bridge. After she wakes up, Jodie learns of the other inhabitants: Jimmy, a drug addict; Walter, an alcoholic and ex-teacher; and Tuesday, a pregnant girl. One night, Jodie wakes to Tuesday screaming and finds the man crowded around her. Stan says she was experiencing contraction already and starting the process of premature labor. In response to Walter forcibly suggesting hospital, Tuesday says they will take her baby away from her. Stan and Jodie get necessary tools from a nearby supermarket, after which Jodie serves as a midwife and assists in a birth in an abandoned building. After the baby is born, the building is caught on fire. Jodie rushes to evacuate Tuesday and her baby to safety, but herself is trapped in the building. Stan comes inside to retrieve her unconscious body. Jodie wakes up in a hospital. As soon as she exits the room, she overhears 2 CIA agents asking after her. She then evades them by quickly jumping out of the window. Jodie begins her desperate journey with no destination. After helping a Navajo family to get rid of an old ghost entity, Jodie reunites Cole in a city park. She asks him about her real parents. Cole identifies her mother as Noah Gray and says she has been interned to a psychiatric hospital and her father died before she was born. Jodie goes with Cole to see her mother. When Jodie finds Noah's room, she is sitting in a chair, comatose and staring blankly. Using Aiden, Jodie finds out that she was given drugs that negate her ability to regain consciousness. When Jodie leaves the room, she finds the CIA waiting for her. The CIA hands Jodie over to Nathan, who is now the executive director of DPA. He, despite Jodie's warning, has built another, much larger condenser. He reveals to Jodie that the CIA is willing to let her go and live her life if he does them one last favor. After briefing by General McGrath, it is revealed that a military facility in the nation of Kazakhstan has built their own condenser. Desperate to keep the condenser technology exclusive to the CIA and its allies, the CIA sends Jodie to destroy it, along with Ryan and 2 other colleagues, Vance and Nick. Trekking across heavily snowing fields, the team managed to follow a convoy to the facility, where Jodie and Ryan, disguised in the uniform of 2 deceased soldiers, take a pilfered submarine to the base, only to be captured. They are tortured by the Kazakhstan general, who wants information out of them. To make matters worse, Aiden is separated from Jodie by a containment field meant to keep entities away from the living. Luckily, he managed to deactivate containment field, unleashing the other entities on the soldiers, and frees Jodie and Ryan. Jodie dives underwater to put explosives on a condenser to close the rift, and then runs away. Ryan arrives and rescues Jodie, pulling them out of the water onto a snowy bank, both rescued by Vance and Nick. With her job done, Jodie is offered freedom by CIA as promised. Nathan offers Jodie an envelope containing a passport and $500,000. As Jodie turns to leave, Nathan stops her and shows her a secret room. He admits that he had been studying the infraworld for the military, in hopes of seeing his family again. Two distorted, translucent figures appear, which seem to be his wife and daughter's souls. Nathan requests Jodie's help to speak with them, but through Jodie, they beg that he let them go, admitting that he is causing them pain, which Nathan doesn't believe. Jodie leaves, and as he attempts to enter the elevator, she is knocked out. When she awakes, she is face to face General McGrath, saying that she put them in a difficult situation. They can't let her go, yet they can't kill her either. He concludes that there's only one appropriate solution. They will inject her with a neural acid that will put her in a permanent coma, the same thing they did with her mother. Then Nathan comes, telling Jodie that he will deactivate the containment field to ultimately free his wife and daughter's souls. After which, Jodie falls to coma. Aiden attempts to break Jodie free, but he isn't strong enough. Instead, he attempts to go get help from Ryan and Co. Having been disturbed, they realize Jodie is in trouble. Aiden leads them towards Jodie. After she's get free, the containment field is disabled, and entities are flying across the building as an evacuation process begins. Jodie and the other two then try to find any way they can to re-enable the field. As a last result, Cole retrieves a portable containment field, stating that it should last him long enough to self-destruct the condenser and close the rift, which is called the Black Sun. The group sprint quickly towards the entrance to the Black Sun, avoiding entities in process. Cole is attacked and is unable to come with them due to his injuries. The two fight through the other blasting from the Black Sun, all the while hearing the laments of lost souls trapped in the infraworld. Ryan gives his containment bell to Jodie when hers is out of power. Jodie proceeds and comes upon a distraught Nathan, who is yelling about not being able to find his wife and daughter. He kills himself to reunite with his family and tells Jodie to destroy the condenser. When Jodie hits the switch, she sees her past. Her mother, Nora, was giving birth to Jodie and crying for her little boy. The twin of Jodie, which is Aiden, was strangled on an umbilical cord, leading to his death. After the Black Sun exploded, both Jodie and Ryan wake up, but when Jodie calls for Aiden, she gets no response. Afterwards, Jodie moved to a small cabin in the woods. Aiden's separation from her has begun to erase her memories, and she writes her entire life down. One night, when Jodie is watching TV, the lights and TV flash, and the words appear on the TV screen, "Still here," telling her that Aiden is still looking after her, despite being no longer tethered.